And now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how it works. And then I'll do a little demonstration. Because it's important. Water has a way of healing itself. It's a living spirit that lives here. Nibiwabo is the water spirit that lives in the rivers, in the water, in all water. It's a living spirit, and she's able to heal herself, but now we're at a point in time where she needs help, extra help, because of everything that's being done to her. So she's not being treated with the respect that she deserves. And because without water, there would be no life. All living beings and entities and us human beings need water to live. Right? Without it, there would be no life. So the water spirit has a way of healing herself, but because of everything that's going on with pollution, things being tossed in the water and her not being cared for, it's making it harder for her to do. So this is why we do these ceremonies. And these ceremonies is a complete Anishinaabe ceremony where every step is a prayer. We do it like a relay. So there's 2 walkers usually walking at a given time. A woman will carry the water because we're the life givers. So we carry the water. And then if we have a man with us, they are our protectors. They're the ones that carry the staff. But sometimes we don't always have men with us. So then the women would carry it. And when we're in ceremony, we wear long skirts. The women wear long skirts. That helps connect us to Mother Earth, so she knows who's walking upon her. And the men wear long pants when we're in ceremony. And when the women carry the water, so I'm going to come down now. So the women are the ones that carry the water in the pail. So before we do any walks, there's an offering provided to the water. A nice little bundle to let her know what our intentions are and that we're going to be doing this ceremony for her to bring healing. So we do an offering a week before to let the water speak to the water spirit and tell her that we're going to be coming and doing this ceremony. And then on the morning of the walk, we will again, everybody will smudge using our 4 sacred medicines. Usually just the sage. We'll smudge, and smudging is another form of ceremony where we cleanse our body, minds, and spirits to remove any negative energies that we don't want to put into the water. And then we'll do an offer tobacco. That bundle is offered. And then we're going to pick the water up. And I'm going to invite Ron to come and demonstrate to you as a staff carrier. He is going to hold this staff, right? So he's our protector, and the turtle faces forward because he's also our protector, you know, his eyes. And on this staff you could see, bring it down for a second. There's 7 eagle feathers on here, which symbolize for the 7 fallen feathers, the 7 youth that were found in the rivers here in Thunder Bay. So each of these feathers represent those 7 youth. If you want to know more about the 7 fallen feathers, there was a book written by Tanya Talaga. She talks about the 7 fallen feathers. And so that's representative on my staff. And then of course, water is life. This is Isaac Murdoch's artwork here, the staff carrier. And then on the other side we have For the Love of the Rivers, because that's why we do the walks here in Thunder Bay. As a staff carrier, they are our protectors. The staff carrier will walk beside the one carrying the water. And we'll do a little demonstration, but first I just want to run through this. The staff carrier is the protector of the one carrying the water. They're protecting the water and the woman that's carrying the water. They're the eyes and the ears to ensure that she's safe when she's walking, because when the women are carrying the water, they are acting like the water. And so they move like the water. Water is always moving forward. Water can move slow, it can move fast, but it doesn't stop. It never stops moving, and it doesn't go backwards. So when I'm carrying this water, I can't be looking behind, looking both ways when I cross a highway or a road. I can't look behind to see what's behind me. I need to look straight ahead and move forward and constantly move. Keep walking. I don't stop. And my staff carrier is going to be my eyes. He walks behind me or beside me, never in front of me, except when he needs to get me safely across a highway or a road. Then he will move forward in front of me to be my eyes, look both ways, make sure it's safe, and he'll direct me to slow down, take baby steps and then all of a sudden when it's safe for me to cross, he'll say, okay, go. And and he'll be blocking anything that might be preventing me from cross, right? So then I move and then I get across the road. So sometimes it gets difficult when we're in the cities, in the city limits, because we have lights, traffic lights that we gotta time and coordinate so that we could get that green light. So the staff carrier will go ahead and push the green light. The water walker might start taking little baby steps until we could get that green light, and then I go, right? So the staff carrier, when he's walking, he's got that staff up high. Sometimes if there's vehicles coming, he might raise that staff up really high so that make sure that they see it. And the turtle, in this case, I got the turtle, which symbolizes Turtle Island and represents the teachings about truth, the and so he's always facing forward. So he holds that staff up. And he will also, he could stop and do offerings. If we're passing a dead animal, say in our pathway, he'll offer tobacco to that animal to help send it on its journey. And he'll also, if we pass a body of water, a creek, he'll offer tobacco to that creek, to that water, to show respect. Tobacco is one of our 4 sacred medicines. It's one of our most important ones, because that's the one that is considered to be our calling card, our telephone to the Creator. When we hold that tobacco, the Creator's listening, and that's when we speak to the Creator. We use tobacco to offer to the water, to provide the prayers, and we use the tobacco to give thanks when bundles are being shared. That wasn't showed this morning, but Juan passed me some tobacco this morning to show his respect and thanks for me sharing this knowledge and my bundle with you. And then we had the smudge, right? So we lit the smudge. So we'll do a little sample of how we walk, because these water walks, every step is a prayer. Only prayers and good intentions are putting into this water the entire time. And it's done like a relay. So when we're passing the water and the staff, two walkers are walking at a given time. And we'll pass in front of the vehicles for safety reasons. And first the water is passed to the walker that's going to be carrying the water. And they're both moving at the same time as that's being passed. And then the staff will be passed to the staff carrier. And then those 2 walkers that were just relieved, they're going to hop into the car that's sitting there, and they'll drive to the front of all the other cars, depending on how many cars there are, right? That's when we're on country roads or highways. But when we're on bike paths, then we have to be a little more strategic. And sending those that are going to be carrying the water and the staff, we send them ahead to various locations within the city, various quarters, and say you go sit there and wait and watch for them, and you just got to be ready to go, because if you're not ready to go, they're going to walk right by you. So before I pick up the water, I'm going to offer my tobacco. Water. Pick up the water. As soon as I pick up the water, I gotta get moving. Gotta get going. Tobacco will be offered again, and then the water is poured back, and then there'll be another bundle offered again, and then once that bundle is offered, we have to walk away, and then the staff gets touched to the water. So when we're carrying the water, only good intentions and prayers and songs are going into this water. Juan and I aren't talking about things that we might see along the way, because sometimes creation is behaving in a certain way because it's acknowledging us on what we're doing. They know that they're benefiting from these water ceremonies too. And so we might see something out of the ordinary that we might not normally see. So when we see that, Juan is going to say, oh, I'm going to share a story. One time early in the morning, when I was walking out with my nephew one time early in the morning, there was a deer just standing like just a few feet away, and he was just standing really still and just watching us and acknowledging us. And I could see my nephew Nolan looking at me, smiling, looking at the deer, looking at me, smiling. But he's not saying anything because he knows that we can't be talking about that right now. So it was after that we passed the water and the staff to the next two walkers. Then he says, "Auntie, did you see that deer?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "That's blood memory. That's the deer knowing that what our people, Anishinaabe people, are doing. They know we're in ceremony, and that deer was acknowledging us and giving thanks for the work that we're doing, right?" So we wouldn't talk about it at that given time. We'd talk about it later. So that's what we do. So, like I said, every step is a prayer. Only prayers and good intentions are going into this water as we are in this Anishinaabe ceremony.